Good morning, Jackson staff and students. It is a fantastic Friday today as we follow our Tiger Truths of be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. I have Miss Destiny Jackson here, or Crothers, as well from Miss Teresa's 5th grade class to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Come on up, birthday girl. How are you doing?
Good.
Awesome. Let's place our right hand on our heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent job and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay, boys and girls, there's many things to remember today. First, I want to talk about our fire drill. Have you been practicing, or do you know where you need to go in case of a fire in your classroom? Please, teachers, review these things, as today we are going to have our first fire drill. Boys and girls, this is practice. This is not something to be worried about or scared about. You will hear an announcement, and it is a person's voice, and he says, please get away from all stairways, da-da-da-da-da. And he says things that really don't apply to our building, but it is an automatic speaker system on our alarm. And so you will hear a person's talking. Please go ahead and leave your classroom with your teacher in the direction that you go. Your teachers need to bring out their red or their green signs so that they're able to count and make sure all the kids are available and present. And then we will, like I said, at 9:15 this morning is when we're going to have our fire drill. So right away here this morning, 9:15. So that gives you a little time to practice, to talk about where you need to go, and then 9:15 will be when the bell rings. Teachers, please shut your classroom doors as you head out, and boys and girls, walk quickly to go outside. Remember, when you're exiting through double doors, use both sets of doors. Instead of everybody following out one set of doors, use both sets of doors. We don't need door holders per se. You just go on out, and that would be great. Okay, we'll give it a shot, and we're going to be counting how many seconds it takes everybody to get outside, count their class, and hold up their red sign, because we turn all of that information each month into the fire department. We have a doc that goes there, and we are monitored. Our next fire drill then will be on October 10th. So we do have the fire drill on today, and then again on October 10th at 10 a.m. on that one. So we did talk about that. Mrs. Marshall has our red and green signs. So thank you. Here is the red if you're missing a student, and green if everyone is all present. That's perfect. Thank you, Mrs. Marshall.
Sure.
I also want to talk about bus behavior. Last week, boys and girls, I was with you on the bus, and I talked an awful lot about all of the ways to sit, participate, and be present on the bus. Hands to ourselves. We're not hanging backpacks up. We're not teasing. We're not swinging backpacks down. They go in front of us on the bus. I also want to make sure that you stay seated in your bus the whole time, your seat. Bus referrals are being written, and I'm sad to say that we have our first set of bus referrals coming through less than a week into our learning about how to behave on the bus. 3 bus referrals, and then you are kicked off of the bus. So it's really early in the year to start receiving bus referrals. So let's make sure that you are following your Tiger Truths in all environments. Thank you. The next thing, teachers, conference slips will be in your boxes this morning or this afternoon. Please remember those go home with students today. And so all the conference slips to go home with children today, boys and girls. Parent-teacher conferences are coming in October, so please take a peek and give it to your parent. We want to make sure that we schedule conferences in a timely and efficient manner. I also want to say today at 1:30, the 5th grade students and possibly 4th grade students are invited to watch the band. Mrs. Riley mentioned to me about 4th grade. She'll confirm with 4th grade teachers if that is true, but I do know 5th grade students will be watching Craig High School band and orchestra students coming to perform. So you can start begin learning about some band and orchestra instruments. It is Picture Day sign up in the office, so if you are a classroom teacher and you haven't signed up, please make sure that you sign up in the office for your picture selection time. Pictures are next Friday. And then teachers and paras, anyone who possibly has bought Bags of Hope guest cards, the money is due to Miss Terry in the office this morning. So please get all of that money to Miss Terry this morning. That was a lot of stuff to be telling you. Mrs. Everhart, so glad to see you. How are you?
Well, happy Friday. I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent as well.
That's a lot of good information.
A lot of messages this morning.
And I even have some better information for our friends in the classrooms.
Awesome.
So this week was our first full week of school, and that means that I was able to see so many students using their Tiger Truths and following those expectations that we talked about on Friday. And so as a reminder, for those of you who are new to Jackson or our kindergarten students, every Friday I go around and I pick one name from the classroom bucket. So when you get your yellow Tiger tickets, you put your name on the back and then it goes in the bucket. I go around and I pick one name and that person gets a prize on Friday.
That's awesome.
And I have to say the prizes this Friday are pretty amazing. We have some Packer posters, some Cubs posters, some electronics, like a robot. We have a whole bunch of amazing things. So here is also the important thing. When your classroom teacher says it's okay, you may come down to the office, go down and see Miss Carolee, and myself will be down there, and you get to pick one prize. It is very, very important, classroom teachers, that they come down before the noon hour, before lunches start, because it gets very busy down there. So if they could come even maybe before 11 at the latest, it would probably be best. And if one of your students, if they aren't here, then we'll get a prize to them next week, the next time they're here. So when I say your name and when your classroom teacher says it's okay, come on down to the office and grab your prize. From Mrs. Balch's classroom, we have Piper Hume. From Mrs. Shear's class, Mila Malinowski. From Mrs. Rosberg's class, Marissa Hernandez. From Mrs. Ransom's class, Carter Rome. From Mrs. Dravis's kindergarten class, Temperance Perry. From Mrs. Menting's class, Dante Olaguez. From Mrs. Masterson's class, Jordan Hammond. From Mrs. Roth's class, Christina Olvera. From Mrs. Anderson's class, Dakota McAfee. From Mrs. Sweeney's class, Manuel Patino. From Mrs. Moyle's class, Liam Hines. From Miss Peterson's class, Brantley Rice. From Miss Reister's class, Elijah Smith. From Mrs. Jansen's class, Nevaeh Moore. From Mrs. Dunmore's third grade class, Jaden Pricka. From Mrs. Garner's fourth grade class, Braylon Payne. From Mrs. Eicher's class, Ray Manzanilla. From Mr. Reese's class, Shania Heron. And from Mrs. Vasquez's class, Tyrone Keogh. So congratulations to everyone whose name was picked. Remember, the more times you are caught following your Tiger Truths, the more Tiger tickets you get, the better chances of your name being pulled.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
okay.
I'm excited.
I kind of see a math problem happening.
Probably.
If I put so many tickets in, what are my chances here?
Oh, math is not my strong suit, but yes, I will try it
Mr.
with you.
Mr. Reese could really do that.
I will
as a fifth
persevere
grader.
and not give up. How about that?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Marshall, what did you say?
Probability.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah,
it is
there we go.
probability.
Okay.
Bye,
guys, thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Okay, boys and girls, let's make it a fantastic Friday today. And don't forget to be awesome.